Although we now have cool horses, I still think flying right into action is better. This base will cost 7,260 wood, 6,030 stone, 6,100 metal frags, and 128 HQM. And it looks like this. So what do we have inside? Through the front door, of course, we have our quick drop area with dual airlocking double doors and full door camper vision. Through a couple more doors, we have our main area, which includes our chippy arcade machine, an automatic nightlight system, workbench 2 and 3 with a furnace. Through these doors, we have our elevator with 3 more furnaces, and our main feature, this super strong bunker. More on this shortly. Above this, we have our secondary loot room with 2 sections. Through this door, we have our research table, and over here, we have some front door defense. This base is super strong for its size and is perfect for friends or that solo adventure. If we come over here and fly into the bunker, we have our pass through the wall boxes, 2 large boxes for our most precious loots to be stored in, and our TC, which has a very low upkeep of only 940 metal frags, 20 HQM, and 833 stone per day. So this trick I saw on Viceless Games channel. It basically uses a slanty roof to open a gap to stick large boxes through walls. I'll leave a link to the video in the description below. Since this is the main focus of the build, I'd like to point out some strengths along with weaknesses and my ideas on how to make the best of both. Firstly, you can make the entire bunker HQM, which instantly makes this expensive to raid. Secondly, there is no point in locking any of the boxes that stick through the wall, since breaking them from the outside will drop the loot bag at your feet anyway. This is not random, it happens every time. Since keeping them unlocked allows access to intruders for free, you as the base owner have some choices to make. You can have 2 boxes sticking through and 2 boxes sealed inside the bunker, allowing max pass-through but limiting the secure storage to 2 boxes. This is the one included in the video. Or you can have 1 box sticking through and 3 boxes sealed in the bunker. This limits the pass-through but provides maximum secure storage as the trade-off. Now let's build this thing. We'll start off with a square foundation. We'll add 3 walls. The 2 side walls are so that we can place salvage shelves correctly. Once you place, you can demolish them. The whole trick consists of placing this foundation and a slanted roof like so. This will open up a gap on this side, which we can use to place large boxes in. We'll build a half wall here just to make the box placement a bit easier. When placing the boxes, make sure they are as close to the slanted roof as possible. This will leave a gap here. Next, we break the roof and place one going the other way. This will open a place for the second large box. I like to place these boxes with the code locks facing in for later access. Remember, you want this gap. Now the trick is done and you can break this foundation. The reason we place the boxes towards the middle is because when we build the next section, they will block the wall and the wall frame if they are too close to the edge. Next, we're going to wall ourselves in. You can upgrade all of this at your own pace, but for the video, I'm going to upgrade everything to its final state. In this case, HQM. From this corner here, we'll be able to place our tool cupboard along with a large box. Then we can put down our first sleeping bag. If we stand on top of our sleeping bag here, we can place another large box. Remember, lock the bottom 2 and the TC. The top 2 we'll talk about later. This is the strongest 1x1 in the game, but since the top boxes aren't locked and anyone can access them, it's not really viable yet. But how strong is it? This strong. Seven C4 and a rocket, totaling roughly 16,800 sulfur to full raid. Not bad for a 1x1, but of course we need to expand. We'll start where the boxes stick through the wall and add this set of foundations. We'll wall all of it in. Once we get here, we'll add a wall frame and 2 single door frames. We'll throw on a shop front and 2 sheet metal doors. Make sure the first one swings this way and the second one this way. With the inner door open, we can start building our ceiling. We'll fill in 3 triangles and 1 square section. We leave this spot open. This will be used as our elevator. Place a furnace in this corner for an easy jump up. Once we are up top, we can start walling it in. We can use full walls for most of the second floor, but when we get to this point here, we'll use a stability trick stacking 2 half walls and then demolishing the bottom one to replace it with a low wall. This gives us a gap to see our front door. We'll also need a wall here, and then we can seal off the whole top. If you want further roof access, I suggest this tile here. Now we've added some living space, and this is what it looks like from the outside so far. Now we'd be foolish not to cover up this HQM, so let's do that next. We'll cover up both sides of HQM with sheet metal honeycomb. This increases the raid cost a lot for a small amount of metal frags. To make the raid cost symmetric from all directions, we'll have to upgrade some pieces inside the base as well. We'll start from the top. We can upgrade all these walls on this roof. Also, we don't want to allow access to the elevator for the cost of a stone wall, so we'll upgrade the elevator sections too. For this final section, we'll upgrade this wall, the ceiling, and foundation. You can technically use this space, but keep in mind placing a low tier door here will decrease the raid cost to the TC. Armored single and double doors would work great here, but I won't include that in the video.
Raid cost.
As is, 4 C4 and 15 rockets, costing roughly 30,250 sulfur, will full raid this base, exposing the TC and even the front airlock. This will increase a bit more once we section off and fill in the base, so let's go ahead and do that now. We'll start on the bottom floor. We'll add 2 wall frames and immediately put garage doors. It's important now to add the doors before you put down the deployables. Next, we have our level 1/2 workbench spot. For the video, we'll skip the level 1 and just place the 2. We can even fit a small box underneath it. Once you get your level 3, you can place it here. There is a trick to get 2 small boxes underneath this. If you rotate the bench and place a small box like this, rotating it back will allow you to fit in a second one. In most cases, these furnaces will be here before the level 3, but either way, you can get 3 into this little section here, like so. If everything is placed correctly, you should easily be able to fit a 4th furnace in this little gap. Now, the most important part of the whole base. No, not more storage, no traps, the chippy machine. I like to place it in this corner. You can place a max of 3 sleeping bags on this bottom floor. Adjust this to suit your group size. If you're more than 3, you can put some on the top floor as well. Once we've completed the bottom floor, we can then fill in the top. Before we add wall frames, let's first finish off our loot room. Using this half wall trick, we can get more storage out of this space. Then we can go ahead and add our wall frames. We'll put our first garage door facing in, and the second one facing the same way. In this next part, we'll use 2 sheet metal double doors. We want them both to open towards the square we're standing on. This is to make navigating through this part of the base much more fluid. Now we can add storage. We'll start off on this top shelf and add 2 large boxes. You want the first one to be as far back and as far left as possible, and you want the second one to be as far back and as far right as possible. If placed correctly, we can then add this shotgun trap and these 2 small boxes. For the bottom shelf, we pretty much duplicate what we just did. Keep in mind these don't have to be placed perfectly, but keeping the small box here from poking through the garage door may be something to shoot for. If it is impossible for you to place this small box in this position, the most likely cause is the 2 large boxes being a bit too close to the middle. For this final area of the base, different people like to add different things. I'm going to put a research table and a single large box. You can always put another loot room here if you feel that there isn't enough storage space here. Electricity is becoming much more common, so I'm going to include a basic night light system into this base. If you need a reference point for the circuit at any time, you can use this. We'll start off on our roof with the first solar panel facing either east or west. The second one needs to face the opposite direction. Next we'll come inside, and I like to use this wall for main electrical components. We'll place a root combiner, an electrical branch, and a blocker. Then we can place our 5 ceiling lights. You can add as many of these as you want. If you use too many though, you'll need to use a large battery instead of the small one. I like to put the battery somewhere on the second floor just to keep it out of the way. Next we'll go to the roof and connect our first solar panel and bring the wire down to the root combiner. You can tidy up the routing of the wires as much as you like. My only goal here is to show you what connects to what. This connects to root power 1. Root power 2 will connect to the second solar panel. Next we take the combined power out and connect it to the power in of the electrical branch. We take the branch out and connect it to the block pass-through. Next we take the power out from the electrical branch and bring it up to the battery's power in. We'll take the power out from here and bring it down to the blocker's power in. We take the blocker power out to our ceiling lights power in, and then the ceiling lights pass through goes into the next light's power in, and so on for as many lights as you place. Now when it turns nighttime, the lights throughout the base will turn on automatically like this. They will also turn off automatically when it turns day. Pretty cool circuit actually. Now although the raid cost to the TC is very similar, it can be argued that these two paths are way better because they open up a lot of the base on the way. Which is fair. To fix this, there are two things we can do. First, we can upgrade this wall to sheet metal, and we can add more doors in the front as well. We'll use these foundations, we'll put up 4 wall frames and a central door frame. We'll place a shop front in this one, a sheet metal door in this one, and a shop front in this one. I think this is a bug because if this wall is sheet metal, you cannot add this shop front in the right way. You can put it backwards, which works exactly the same, but it's kind of annoying. So if you plan on adding the shop front, you may want to leave this wall stone until you do. Definitely upgrade it after though. We'll throw up our ceiling real quick and then we can add our double doors. Make sure that both of these doors open towards the front entrance so that they can be used as an airlock if needed. A cool thing about this setup is that if the single door is missing and both of the double doors are open, it will still block people from getting in. And that's pretty much the base. I estimate the raid cost to be about 34 to 37,000 sulfur, depending on exactly what you use and how you use it. I do want to say that you can add on to any of my designs. If you want more honeycomb, you can just surely add more honeycomb. Change whatever you need in order to fit your playstyle and group size. That being said, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.